Alright, redoing episode 0 of the Relegation Dynasty here in College Football 25 because I didn't like the way I had it set up initially. I found a bit cleaner ways to separate the conferences. I'm just going to go through them here really quickly. If you want to see the specific teams in a conference while I explain the conferences, feel free to pause and check them out. So, the relegation has 11 individual tiers, one for each conference, and the independents being the bottom tier. The way these conferences were figured out was I put every single team, all 134 teams, into a spreadsheet with their overall rating and their star prestige. And I organized them by stars first and then by overall. So it's a combination of the two. The top tier team, the number one conference that everyone is trying to get to is the SEC, which is all the 5-star schools, all the 4.5-star schools, and then the highest overall 4-star schools, which are Texas A&M, down here at an 89 overall, and also Florida State up here at an 87 overall. Those two made the cut just solely based on how good an overall they are. All the rest of the teams are 5-star or 4.5-star prestige. The second tier down is the ACC. The ACC schools are from an 86 overall down to 85 overall. 85 and 86 overall. That was the cutoff. So that one consists of 13 schools. Next up is the Big Ten, which is all the 84 overall schools. Next is the Big 12, which is 82 and 83 overall, with the caveat on the 82. For 82 overall, they had to be 3.5-star or above prestige. Because there were a few teams that were 82 overall of 2.5-star and 3-star prestige, but they moved down to the next conference down, which is the Pac-12, which is those 82 overall teams, Cincinnati, Syracuse, Indiana, and Tulane, that didn't make the cut based off prestige, and then the 81 overalls up to 3 stars and above. So the 2.5-star and below did not make the cut for the Pac-12. And that's it for the Power 5 conferences, the top 5. Next up is the AAC, which is 81 overall with a 3-star and 2.5-star 80 overalls, which is Oregon State, Washington State, and Houston. Then Conference USA is the next tier down, which is those 80 overalls of less than 2.5-star prestige, Florida Atlantic, UNLV, USF, and then all the 79 overall schools. Next tier down is the MAC, which is all of the 78 overall schools. Next down, we have the Mountain West Conference, which is 77 and 76 overall schools. Then second to last, we have the Sun Belt, which is 74 and 75 overall schools. And then the few teams that are left over, I believe 7 teams left over, lower than a 74 overall, are all in the independents. Now, the way this league works is every conference will have the same rules. Conference champion on, division leader home, top teams based off school prestige. And we're going to do 8 conference games per year. 8 conference games per year. Division leader home, top team by record for every single conference. And the winner of the conference every year will get to move up a tier, with the team finishing last in the conference moving down a tier. And if the national champion happens to come from a conference other than the SEC, they get an automatic bump up to the SEC, because the SEC is where the top dogs are. If you win the national championship, you've proven that you've deserved to be in the SEC. There will be no divisions. It'll just be conference by conference. The independence is the absolute floor. They have a chance to move up, obviously, to the Sun Belt, and Sun Belt has the chance to move down to the independents. And then at the end of each season, assuming that this gets any sort of following, if there are any teams that you feel deserve to move up or down, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Anything that has popular opinion based on who wants to move, who we think should move up or move down depending on performance, will move up or move down. And the way that this series will go is it'll be an ESPN style recap show for every single week of the schedule. I will be recording the full games, scripting out, and doing voiceover for the recaps of the games. I'm not certain how often this series will come out, as it is very intensive work. If there's anybody who wants to potentially collaborate on this, feel free to hit me up, because this is a lot of work for just one person to do. This is a pure passion project of mine. The plan is for this to just be something that will be occasional on top of my normal Let's Play content. This will be a lot more heavily edited than the rest of my content, but it's something that I really wanted to do, and it's something that is just a fun passion project of mine. If you like this conceptually, look forward to the series coming up. Not sure when episode 1 will be out, but be on the lookout for episode 1. Hit subscribe down below to keep updated with the series. There will be a playlist of the full games in their entirety, most likely without my commentary. I might live com the big marquee games, but for the most part, it'll just be the full games with no commentary. Will be linked in the description. The playlist will be linked in the description each week. Other than that, the weekly recap shows every single week, and the series will have its own playlist on top of the hidden playlist with the unlisted full games. Again, if you enjoy this idea conceptually, sorry this is unscripted rambling, but if you enjoy this concept, let me know down below. Like the video, leave a comment, hit subscribe. Feedback is very important for the series, because this is going to be a lot of intensive work on top of my full-time job and me being a full-time college student, but I really want to do this. This is something that I think will be a lot of fun, even though it'll be a lot of work. Thank you for watching if you made it this far into the video.